This story brought an end to my adolescence, and it was with Lardass in mind that I opened the heavy door to the adult world. Through her, I learned the joys of remorse, territory only grown-ups can claim. And so, twisting mature words with teenage memories, I'm going to tell you what happened. Now, allow me to introduce you to our set pieces. Here are Melanie, Erica, and Catherine.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Catherine. My dad showed us one time. He had a barrel of chlorine, and just before tossing it into our above-ground pool, he made a tiny nick in it. That barrel flew 40 feet in the air. It stuck with me because it made me laugh so hard. It really impressed me. It's powerful stuff, chlorine. Those two kids probably didn't know that. It's because of the movie The Sound of Music. She wouldn't stop singing it. It was really irritating, and we didn't like her all that much to begin with. In grade school, we called her Lardass. Seriously, we were barely 8 years old. Already, she must have weighed at least 300 pounds. She's too fat, too happy to be alive, too dumb, and at the same time, too nice to realize everyone was making fun of her all the time. And then she wouldn't stop singing the friggin' Sound of Music. She had a raw talent for getting on people's nerves. In her flowery dresses, annoying, like 15 annoying little sisters can be with their rosy cheeks on their annoying little sister faces. But still, what happened to her was, the summer we were 8, these twins, the brothers of one of Lardass's friends, as a joke, force-fed her chlorine to make her stop singing. It burned her whole digestive tract, and it must have hurt like hell. When it happened, she screamed so much and fought so hard she fell backwards right onto the Denton twins' dad's lawnmower. The boys got scared and locked her in the shed before running into the woods to hide. Unable to call out or move, Lardass waited for someone to find her. It took 17 hours before the brothers finally admitted to the presence of a stranger in their shed. Not only did she lose the use of her voice, she lost the use of her limbs as well. Everything except her head. At least that's what people say. Now she'd just be this big floating head. It's already been 9 years since the accident. I'm thinking about it because I'm pissing on her property, and I've got that damn song from The Sound of Music stuck in my head. I don't have time to make it home. I'm too drunk. I only live one road over, but when you gotta go, you gotta go. Tonight was my grad dance. The girls were so pretty in their dresses, so pretty. I told Jimmy.
God damn, motherfucking little shit taking a crap on my lawn at 4 o'clock in the morning? What do you think you're doing? What's wrong with you, you little smartass? Can't take a dump in your own toilet like the rest of us? Hey?
That's all I needed. Lardass's father. I'm not taking a shit. I'm peeing sitting down.
Oh, well, if you're taking a piss, no problem. Goddamn motherfucking little shit taking a piss on my lawn at 4 o'clock in the morning? How dense do you have to be, for Christ's sake?
My last comment didn't have anywhere near the desired effects. I really wasn't in the mood to deal with Mr. Campbell. My head was so full of beer and rum and cherry coke that I couldn't understand a word he's yelling. And I told myself, a little piss on a cedar hedge never hurt anybody. And just like that, it stopped. There in his eyes were two clear, distinct emotions, sadness and illumination. It made for a strange portrait, like a snapshot caught between two expressions. Mr. Campbell? Mr. Campbell, are you okay?
Go home.
Of course, the next morning I woke up with a wicked hangover and an endless sermon from my mom. Lardass's dad had called her and told her everything. She was so angry, when she woke me up, purple smoke was pouring out of every orifice in her head. Her left index finger was aimed right at me. She was using it to underline how stupid I'd been. Luckily, her nose started bleeding, emotional overload, giving me a moment to collect my thoughts. Thanks to the appearance of the dreaded index finger, I knew the consequences were going to be pretty harsh, and I was trying to anticipate the verdict. When my mother's face finally got back to a normal color, I was informed of my fate. For the whole summer, I would have to visit Lardass twice a week. Her father had told my mother that for some time now, Lardass had expressed a desire to hang out with kids her own age. I don't know what he could have seen in an 18-year-old boy who pees sitting down on his property at 4 a.m, but I was the lucky winner. And I must admit, for the moment, my curiosity was winning out over the dullness of the chore. No one had really laid eyes on Lardass since the accident. After 9 years, I was going to see the whale again, and the very thought of it thrilled me.
Communication with Sarah is a bit, well, since she can't talk, it's more complicated, but we've actually found some ways that work well enough.
Okay.
Don't say okay, I haven't said anything yet.
Okay.
All right. 1 blink means yes, 2 blinks means no, 3 blinks, I don't know.
So it means nothing?
No, goddammit, it means I don't know. As in, is it going to be a nice day out tomorrow? I don't know. I haven't checked. Can you get that through your skull?
Yeah. Yes.
All right. If she starts to blink non-stop, it's that she wants to say something more specific, in which case you take out the alphabet board and you point out letters with the pointer. There's an electric board and a manual one. If Sarah tells you yes, 1 blink, you take note of the letter, and as you go, you'll make words. My wife, the nurse, me, we all do this every day, and that's how we find out the things that Sarah wants.
Raymond! Quick! I think another skunk has gotten into the gazebo!
Son of a bitch!
Hello, Nathan.
Hi. Do you want me to help with the skunk?
Oh, that's so sweet of you to offer, but it might take a while. There isn't any skunk.
Then why did you say
To
there
get
was-
rid of Ray. He gets all worked up over these things and then he gets grouchy. My husband doesn't like to have people over. I'm kind of the one behind all this.
Okay.
Well, come on if you're ready. I'll introduce you to Sarah. Well, she's set up downstairs. There's more room and it's cooler. At first we kept her up here, but she got so hot in the summer we figured we better put her downstairs. But then again, with the stairs, it's not all that practical. But then again, it's not as if she gets outside all that much. I mean, she gets out sometimes, you know, but it's rare because it's really complicated to move her. And besides, I don't really like doing it. I'm always afraid there'll be an accident.
At that moment,
But we managed.
I was seized by a mixture of excitement and a strong urge to vomit all over the room like a sick dog. I was in the strangest state. When Lardass's accident had happened, I was still a little boy. And in my child's brain, I'd always imagined Sarah like a giant head stuck on a tripod. I was pretty sure that's not what I'd be faced with today, but the whole thing was so fascinating, my body trembled all over. Going down the stairs into Sarah's bedroom, time stopped, and I began imagining all kinds of scenarios. In panic situations, my mind comes up with all sorts of crazy ideas to keep me from facing reality. The last one, the most improbable, was this. Sarah and I would become the best of friends, and together we would change each other's lives. She would confide in me, I would do the same, and before long her little limbs would awaken from their painful sleep, and thanks to the power and passion of my words of encouragement, she would learn to walk again. We would stroll hand in hand down Main Street past the incredulous faces of family and friends, she smiling up at me seeing the eternal gratitude in her eyes. The phrase,
Now that you've been introduced, I'll leave you two to chat. If you need anything, I'm up here.
brings me crashing back to reality. Oh, hello, Sarah. I'm Nathan. How are you doing? It can't be much fun, eh? I mean, not being able to move. Well, not being able to talk either. But no, I think it must suck even more not to be able to move, because at least if you could move, you could mime what you want to say. It's easier. Well, not easier, but well, it's how you doing? You doing good? How you doing? Your room is nice. You doing good? And it's so not true that her room was nice. It was decorated like she was still 8 years old. I mean, this tacky wallpaper with pink and green lightning bolts mixed in with these explosions of white and turquoise. A huge poster of Olivia Newton-John, stuffed animals everywhere, picture frames with photos of dolphins, dolphin lamps. Even her comforter had a bunch of dolphins on it. Not to mention the hundreds of cassette tapes lying around on all the shelves and the dressers, hinting at a taste in music that was doubtful at best, and at worst, hazardous to one's health. All of this laced with a very strong smell of poo. With my lunch threatening to come back up every 2 seconds, I stared at Lardass, lying there in the middle of the catastrophe that was her room. My young eyes had never witnessed such a pitiful sight. I was stunned. I just stood there, frozen. I must have been with her for about 20 minutes, but it felt as long as a whole dull day. I managed a few more incomprehensible words and left. I told Meredith everything had gone well, and I would come back another time because Sarah had fallen asleep.
Oh, that's a good sign. Don't take it the wrong way. It means she feels comfortable with you.
I gave her a big doe-eyed smile, knowing full well Lardass had only closed her eyes to escape the intensely uncomfortable situation I had created. I've been standing there in front of her for many long minutes, just staring, like the way you stare at a dead animal on the side of the road, but an animal you no longer recognize. Leaving the Campbell house, I did manage to crack a smile at the sight of Raymond, red-faced and still searching for a totally non-existent skunk. Hello, Sarah. How are you doing? You doing good? How you doing? You good? Awkward silence. No words. Try again. And believe me, I did. I tried to be nice. I tried to find fun things to talk about, but I never knew with her. During those first meetings, I felt like I was stripped of all my charm, my humor, my conversation skills. My game plan consisted of those same 2 sentences, and then I'd hit a wall. Hello, Sarah. How you doing? You doing good? The second question being basically the same as the first, except without the hello. Our sessions became an endless torture for me, an exercise in futility. And I have to say, there were 2 words that echoed constantly through my brain. How boring. How boring. 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 Of course, I never let it show. Everyone had to be nice to her. Everyone had to look out for her. But I was so far away from that picture of me and Lardass strolling down Main Street together, I started spacing out our visits as much as possible, inventing all kinds of reasons to keep me from showing up, exposing the Campbells to obscure ailments and sudden violent illnesses such as asthma, scurvy, and acute gingivitis. But, as you will soon see, on our 6th meeting, things took an unexpected turn. Let me explain. When I arrived in the front hall for our 6th meeting, Raymond immediately pulled me aside to tell me about bird houses. He spoke with such passion, I was surprised to find myself almost interested.
You can do the big pieces on a table saw, but for the little pieces, you gotta use a jigsaw, and you gotta sand them too. You can vary the size of the hole depending on the kind of bird you want to attract.
Ah! Ray, come quick! Ah! Raymond is joking! Quick, come help me! Ah! Raymond! Quick! Ah! Raymond Campbell, don't you do this to me! Come on, do something! Look down at her throat! It doesn't belong to breathe, baby! Mommy's here. Breathe gently, sweetheart! Raymond!
I think we need to help. You move a muscle and I'll break you in half.
Nathan, go upstairs and call an ambulance!
Okay.
Don't move.
Hey, you want me to smack you too?
Okay, that's it. Gently, my little lamb. Gently. Breathe slowly. Gently. Okay. Oh, you're doing better now. You gave us a big scare. Hey, my little lamb. It happens sometimes. An accumulation of saliva blocks her windpipe.
Okay. I ran out of there and I kept on running. That was so fucking weird. I didn't understand and I felt terrible. There's no way I should have been there for that. It didn't concern me at all and I didn't want any part of it. As I ran home that night, I decided I would never ever step foot in the Campbell house again.
Will you tell me what the hell came over you? Raymond! I need an answer! Now!
I told myself it would be nature's way.
Nature's way? In front of another child who knows absolutely nothing about the situation? You smacked him, Raymond, honestly!
I know.
Poor child, we probably scarred him for life!
I gotta say, he didn't look too tough to begin with.
You cut that out. He is a fine boy. You're the one who's lost it. Just like that. Without so much as a goodbye. I don't get you. I just don't get you. You frighten me.
She's had enough, I think.
You are going to cut that out right now, mister. There may still be good days for her. We don't know either way. It's not up to us to decide. And it's normal to go through some hard times. Puberty and her condition, it's certainly not a great mix.
I think about it all the time. It's not supposed to be like this. Life isn't supposed to be like this. Seems to me you're not free if you can't blow your own brains out.
What are you going on about now?
If you can't even... You heard me.
You cut that out. She's too young.
All right, then I'll keep my mouth shut. I won't say another word.
Okay, fine, but those are grown-up thoughts. She's still a child.
Right. And it's our job to protect her.
So what are you suggesting? That we protect her by letting her choke to death? Just knowing a thought like that would cross your mind. You're nuts, completely nuts. You're sleeping on the sofa tonight, just in case I start choking. I'll be safer on my own.
beached whale stranded in her basement. And at night, the image even managed to wring a few tearful sobs out of me in the darkness of my room. Suddenly, I found myself taking pity on Sarah. I was now completely obsessed with the Campbells, their situation, their arguments, their insanity. Sleeping was becoming increasingly difficult, which meant my days were becoming more and more tiring, especially since we were right in the middle of harvesting the cabbage. Occasionally, the Mexicans my mother always hired around this time of year would succeed in distracting me by filling my head with naughty pictures and dirty jokes. And this one afternoon, in the hopes of ridding myself of a semi-erection I've been fighting off all day thanks to the Mexicans' jokes, I started running. I've always loved running. Sprinting until you feel like your muscles are going to explode. You come out washed clean. Running along the path that leads to the house, I'll arrive at the hydrangeas, which will follow me right up to the back door. At the same moment, someone will ring the doorbell in the front, and a chime to the tune of La Bamba, it's my mother's inspiration, will echo through the house. That'll be Lardass's mother. She'll start off by apologizing for what happened. They were dealing with a great many challenges at the time, and I should never have witnessed what I did. Then she'll hand me a letter, and she'll leave, her eyes a lake of tears. On the envelope, I'll see my name. I'll open it and read the following. Come see me again, please, if you want. Sarah. She must have dictated it to her mother with her eyes. It seemed funny to me because it started with a command and ended with a request. Come see me again, please, if you want. I won't know what to do. I won't know what to decide.
How did you find out? No. You're kidding me. But did he know? Why not? Oh my goodness, you're crazy!
Setting foot in that house, you instantly felt 800 pounds heavier. Meredith helped me off with my raincoat because it was raining. I noticed she had a strange expression on her face. I couldn't tell if it was because of what had happened or because I caught her smoking a cigarette.
I'm glad you decided to come back after what happened the other day. Raymond, he loves her very much. He loves her very much. And I wouldn't want you to think that that's actually why. I think it'll do Sarah a lot of good to see you again. As you know, she's the one who asked her to write the letter to you, and she's the one who got me to...
I know. Yeah. We'll see.
That's right. That's right. We'll see. Well, you know the way. If there's anything you need, I'm up here.
Okay. Well, it's just I feel like I never know what to say.
Well, talk to her about whatever you feel like talking about, what you did today, stuff like that.
I don't think that'll be very interesting.
And she can more or less tell you about her day. I'm sure you'll find something. And I'm sure it'll be interesting. Uh-huh.
Me and my brother are always trying to give my mother a good scare. My mother is the most nervous person I know. Well, actually, nervous isn't even enough of a word. Say she's the most hysterical person I know. According to her, no matter what we do, we run the risk of us dying or having our limbs torn off with blood splattering all over the walls or whatever. Well, before, when we were little, we go easy on her because my dad was gone. She was raising us alone. There was the farm. And we were concerned about her nerves. But when we figured out she was ruining our lives and worrying about us was her one true pleasure in life, we decided we'd give her money's worth. This week, we actually made her believe that Charles could control objects with his mind. Chuck's my little brother. I'll explain, okay? You'll see, it's hilarious. So I go run into the kitchen. I'm like, Mom, you gotta come out to the shed. Charles is just sitting there and he won't stop crying and he won't tell me what's wrong. You see, the thing is, 2 weeks earlier, we found this super strong magnet in the workbench that could move a fork even through a wall as thick as the sheds. So when I got her out there, my brother gave this performance that was so good. It could have been on TV, it was perfect. We made his eyes all red with lemon juice. And he just looked at the fork with this crazy intense stare. And you should have seen my mother's face when the fork started climbing the wall on its own. My sister was on the other side of the shed making the fork go up and down. It was worth $1 million. At first, she almost fainted. And then she starts saying stuff that doesn't make any sense. Oh! Oh! Oh my God! Charles, oh my God! Don't you tell a soul. Don't ever tell a soul about your gift. Do you hear me, baby? They'll take you away from me. They'll do all kinds of experiments on you like they did to that miracle boy in the call. We finally had to stop her because she was looking up the number for the FBI and the local phone book.
What's wrong, sweetheart? Why are you crying? Hang on a second, Mommy will help you. Don't panic, Sarah. It won't do you any good. God, where? Stupid board is never there when you need it. Okay. Sarah, if you keep crying, Mommy can't understand your eyes. Let's calm down. Breathe. Oh. Okay. Sleep. You can't sleep? But Mommy doesn't understand, honey. Why do you want to sleep in the middle of the day? Did you not sleep last night? Is something troubling you? Is that why you couldn't sleep? Is something still troubling you now? Oh, Sarah. Listen to Mommy now. You know the doctor? Okay. He told you not to ask yourself 100 questions all at once, right? Because in the first place, you can't answer them all at the same time. And in the second place, There are some things you just can't ever answer. Because what happens, right, is that your poor little head just doesn't know how to answer all those questions and all those fears bundled up inside you. So it freaks out. It blows a fuse. And that's why you panic, honey. That's why you end up feeling like this. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to wait for the attack to pass. We're going to breathe gently and calmly. And then we're going to figure out what put you in this state of yours. Okie dokie? Mommy loves you too, Sarah. A whole bunch. And she's just going to go upstairs and turn off Linda Ronstadt, because at a certain point we just can't take any more, can we? I'll be right back. Then you and me can have a chat, and then I'll help you get to sleep.
This is how things went with Sarah. For someone who doesn't talk much as a rule, I was becoming a real chatterbox when I was with Lardass. Hey, am I late? What time is it anyway? Oh, it's only 1:15. My mom was shitting bricks because I didn't take the garbage out yesterday, and now it smells like something died in the garage. And I had to suffer through a 20-minute sermon where she told me I was definitely my father's son, and if things carried on this way, she would get fed up and move so far away it would take a $14 stamp just to write her a letter. The capital of England is London. Me and Mike got ourselves jobs at the Unisport, and we're saving money to go there next year and make music and see Big Ben and Camden Market and Soho and Piccadilly Circus. Apparently, it costs a fortune, so I gotta sell a shit ton of tacky clothes. We're maybe also gonna go to Manchester or Liverpool to see where the Beatles started out. The bar is called the Matthew Street Cavern Bar, and we're gonna go see rock shows every night. Here, Bigfoot, this is for you. Yesterday, I went to a Chinese restaurant with my mother. I was wondering if you'd ever eaten Chinese, so I brought you a chunk of General Tao. It was dumb, but whatever. I thought of you. You've probably never seen one. I love Chinese food. My favorite dish is the number 27. So, yeah. That's it. That's what a chunk of General Tao looks like. Her name is Justine. She just moved in not far from our place, and the other night we made out. Is it just me or has it been raining all week? It pisses me off. I was supposed to go camping with Martin and Greg on their grandparents' land, but it was so muddy, we ended up canceling. It sucks. Usually, we set up a tent and we take off into the woods to hunt for our supper. We make these kind of spears out of branches and we smoke Jay, go off to catch dinner. Of course, we never bag anything, so we end up just doing plain hot dogs over the coals. She keeps telling me she doesn't want anything to do with me, but then she goes ahead and kisses me. So I'm like, whatever, I don't care, she smells great. She makes me laugh. She kisses good, but whatever. She left her sweater at my place the other night, so I have to bring it over to her tonight. But at the same time, I could care less about Justine. I can't wait to get my license! My mom said she'd lend me her car if I promised to be careful. And of course, I'm not going to do anything stupid with her car. Not unless I want to hear about it every day for the rest of my life. Justine came over to our house yesterday, which is rare, because usually it's always me going over to her place. But whatever. Have you ever had a dog? Me neither, but I'd like to. I teach it all kinds of tricks. We win tons of prizes. I get a Boston Terrier. I did an oral presentation on them when I was in elementary school. Wait, check it out. Intelligent and affectionate, the Boston Terrier is playful and uncommonly agile. Sure of itself, it makes an excellent guard dog that rarely barks. It is easily excitable, but just as easy to settle down. It is extremely loyal and very careful with children. The Boston Terrier is sensitive to the cold and remains close to home during the winter months. Sometimes, when I go to bed at night, I think about what my life would be like if I lived in another time, or even just in another town. Justine is a vegetarian. But whatever. In my room, I have a rock from the Grand Canyon, my first hockey stick, my report card, my beach towel I've had since I was 4. Oh yeah, and a picture of my friend Mike and me from last Halloween. He's such a goof, Mike. We dared him to dress up as a princess, and fuck, he actually did it! We howled! The kids at school didn't even recognize him. He took advantage of the situation and took a piss in the girls' can so we could listen to them pee. But now, since he took the dare, guess who's got to wear the friggin' costume this year? This is the crown. This is the scepter. Okay, I gotta get home. You know how bad is a princess? Lardass's mother was in the kitchen ironing towels, and Raymond was folding what she just ironed, which means it was Saturday. That's how things went at their place. Saturday was fabric day. Wash the clothes, iron the clothes, fold the clothes, put away the clothes, change the dishcloths, change the sheets, and once a month, wash the curtains.
I told Helen July was no good because of Sarah's doctor's appointments, but in August, maybe we could go spend a week at their cottage. Maybe little Nathan could come with us if his parents are okay with it. I think he's good for Sarah. When I asked her if she wanted Nathan to come with us to the cottage, she blinked so quickly, so many times, it was like she was saying, yes, 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 yes. She seems to be doing well these days. The other day, I saw them playing hide and go seek. It was pretty silly. He'd put her in a corner of the basement, then he'd come up to the kitchen and he'd count to 50, and then he'd go back down and pretend he didn't know where she was. I thought it was ridiculous, but she must have had fun because she had a sore throat that night like she gets when she laughs too much. It does us good, don't you think? Gives us a break so we get to spend some time together. So, what do you want for dinner tonight? Hey, are you getting tipsy?
No.
Pauline gave me her zucchini lasagna recipe.
Zucchini lasagna?
I thought I'd give it a try. I don't know if I can pull it off, but at least it'll be something new for supper. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know what to make anymore. It seems like we're always eating the same things. I guess we'll see how it turns out. Unless you'd rather I just make my mustard roast beef.
Yeah, I'd rather have that.
Okay then, I'll do that.
As Meredith was putting away the ironing board, she opened the door for me, because I had just knocked. When I came into the kitchen, Raymond surprised me by asking,
You want a beer?
No, thanks.
Come on over here and sit down for a minute. How are your parents?
They're fine. They say hello.
Well, say hello for me too. Has your father ever shown you how to make a birdhouse?
No, but he showed me how to look after his geraniums.
Nah, me and gardening don't get along. I do think what Meredith did with the landscaping and the yard is pretty, but I don't have the patience to fiddle around with that kind of thing. I bet you can't wait to start CJAP.
Well, yeah. I don't really have much choice. If I want to do what I want to do with my life, I can't get out of it.
What do you want to do with your life?
I don't know yet. Maybe archaeologist, or veterinarian, or something in film.
Yeah, I can see how it would be hard to choose between such similar fields. I have a pile of National Geographics in the garage. If you ever feel like grabbing a couple, help yourself. They're in the big cardboard box above the freezer, if you think you might get some use out of them.
Okay.
So are you liking your job at that store of yours?
I guess. I mean, it's a lot of putting stuff on shelves and taking stuff off shelves and restocking stuff. I don't know what half the stuff's for, but I'm only doing it to save up cash to go to London next summer with my friend Mike.
Have you got a girlfriend?
Yes. Well, no. I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. If I do have a girlfriend, somebody ought to tell me, but whatever, I don't care.
Well, you know with girls, you gotta be patient. Meredith and me, we've been married for 28 years. We knew each other back in the day because I worked for her dad delivering the Gazette. We lived right near each other, but never actually met, even though we went to the same school. One day when his school got out, it was raining hard. She didn't have an umbrella. Lent her my jacket till she could get home and cover her head. Her dad never wanted us to get married because he thought I was too old for her. We had the ceremony in secret on her 20th birthday, and then we spent our honeymoon in France and Paris. We gotta go to Paris one of these days. It smells bad, but it's pretty. We spent 21 days making love all over the place.
Yes. Right. I'll be back. I forgot my mother wanted me to help her with something. I'll see you later.
Okay, see you later.
Bye. Okay, do you mean tea or space? You won't stop blinking and I can't understand a thing. Tea? Yes, tea. Why Dad left? I don't get it. My dad? How do you know that? Did I tell you that? What's the big deal with my dad all of a sudden? Yours was stressing me out yesterday. You wouldn't stop asking me all these questions. Anyway, I'm not allowed to talk about it. You know, just because you're handicapped doesn't mean I can trust you. No, really. If you told your mother, in 2 days, the whole town would know. Okay, yeah, fine, lardass, you little shit. But don't you dare tell your mother, okay? Because people just aren't cool with this sort of thing, and we can't have them finding out, okay? Okay? Okay. My mom used to drive us, my brother and me, to Cub Scouts. Meanwhile, my sister and my dad stayed at home. My sister figured out that when my mom left, my dad would lock himself in their bedroom and try on her dresses. And so one day hey, don't laugh, it's not funny. Ha ha, lardass, you can't move. You're stuck there, it's not funny, is it? Well, it's not funny for me either. So yeah, my sister ended up telling my mother. My mother gave my father an ultimatum. He could stop wearing her dresses or he could leave. I guess he must have really liked wearing her dresses because a month later he left. We never saw him again. No news, no letters, nothing. Anyway, if he came back, he'd be screwed because my mother only wears high-rise pants now. We were already a pretty retarded family to begin with. Now we're just really retarded. Yeah. I tell you, sometimes I think it's a real shame. So, nap time? Sweet dreams. Good night!
Oh my, yes, I did see that. Okay, we'll see you, Raymond. Mind you, we can see enough of you as it is, but anyway.
All right, okay. But get ready to show me some skin because I got a pair of nines and a pair of queens.
And we have a full house.
God damn it, you're cheating!
Woo-hoo. Come on, strip. Strip for Sarah. Come on, strip.
Fuck!
No. Both socks. Take them both off.
What do you mean both? No, hey, whoa there, Nelly. One is more than enough for the two of you.
Well, is Mr. Big Man being shy?
I'm not being shy, you're being a perv.
Oh, come on. I'm not being a pervert. We've been married 28 years. I've already seen your ankles. I'm telling you, Sarah, sweetie, it has not been easy spending my life with a man who has as many hang-ups as your father.
Hang-ups. I'll show you a hang-up.
Oh, come on, Raymond. Give us a little dance.
What?
Mm-hmm.
No. Okay, I'll take off the other sock. So we're gonna sit here and I'm gonna keep playing and I'm gonna crush you and then it's gonna be the two of you sitting there buck naked.
Oh, no. It's too late. It's too late. The stakes are raised. The chips are in. The betting is closed.
Fine. Give me a song at least.
Well, of course, my darling Raymond, if we get to see you dance, we're going to find you something really special. In fact, I've got just the thing.
autumn snuck up on me that year, reminding me how much I loved the sound of my footsteps in the leaves, the colors I could see outside my bedroom, and the smells too. Turning from the window, my eyes fell upon the box where I keep my letters from Lardass. Messages she would dictate in secret to the nurse, and the nurse would then give to me. It was weird reading them out of context. Strange short notes that got right to the point. Come see me again, please, if you want. Sometimes I think it's not fair. Not for me, not for you. Yesterday, a cricket came in my room. When I was little, I did dance. Now do shit. Yesterday, you stank. Dream I ran on water like baby Jesus. Thanks for the daisies, but my mother wants you to stop wrecking her garden. Who is General Tao? I learned that London was founded by the Romans over 2,000 years ago and was called Londinium. I often wish I won't wake up. I never want to see you again. I really like E.T. and the peanut butter solution. You still kiss Justine? Stop dressing me up. The answer is I don't want to anymore. Don't understand why Justine won't go out with you. I got a sunburn. Put the curtain back when you come. Thanks for poster on ceiling. Why do you still love Justine?
Not what I am saying, Raymond. Don't be such a smart aleck. I am usually the one correcting you. Make circles with the hot water bottle. Do you really think I don't know the difference between seen and saw? Huh? I've seen him. I never say that. I am always the one pointing out your mistakes, and you have the nerve to call me out in front of everyone. Nobody even noticed. I turned beet red. I was so embarrassed. And I felt to do that in front of everyone. The entire Hanningford Book Club.
You see, the student has surpassed the teacher.
Yeah, well, the student could go jump in a lake.
You're always correcting me in front of people.
Well, you don't speak properly.
Well, you don't either, apparently.
Shut it, just shut your mouth. I don't want to hear any more about it.
But you're the one going on about it.
It's all I have, all right? It's all I have in this fucking madhouse to make me feel the tiniest bit respected and intelligent. You had no right to take that away from me. When I'm with the book club, I don't think about anything else, and it does me good. I'll have you know I've read a lot of books, and I know a lot of things the other mothers don't. I was an example for them, and you had to go and wreck it all.
You don't think you're exaggerating just a bit? Nobody said anything, for
Well, of
Christ's
course no one
sake.
said anything, but I could see it in their faces. Those old busybodies were jumping with joy to see me make a mistake.
You know, I didn't mean to hurt you.
I should hope not.
I'm sorry. Do you want me to pick up a barbecue chicken for supper?
Yes! are all clean, sweetie. Mommy's gonna fold everything and put it away in your drawer. Oh, it's chilly in here. You can feel winter on its way. Are you cold, my sweet girl? Oh, bye. Oh, bye. There you go. Peekaboo. That is peekaboo. Who's my pretty girl? Who's my pretty girl? Oh, I gotta say, it's time we put a little variety in your color scheme. All this pink is starting to look pretty sad. I know it's your favorite color, but it seems to me you could use some more greens and blues and bring out your eyes. When Mommy still worked at the office, there was this woman, Sally, who wore the same pantsuit 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, the same one, for months and months at a time. And every 8 or 9 months, she'd show up with a new outfit and she'd wear it every day of the week for months. So one year during an office Christmas party, it was Jack who finally asked, "So, tell us, Sally, how can you wear the same thing all year round?" Well, the answer was, Sally absolutely hated shopping and picking out what to wear for work, so when she found an outfit she liked, well, she'd buy 5 of them, one for each day of the week. We laughed so hard, we'd finally solved the case of Sally's single pantsuit. She was no fashion plate, that's for sure, but boy, did Jack and me ever have fun working with Sally. You know, it really is quite chilly in here. Mommy's gonna go upstairs and get a sweater. I'll be right. Is that Sarah? Sarah? Sarah! 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 What were you doing there, huh? Will you tell me what the hell you were trying to do? Are you all right? Are you all right? If it's attention you want, you'd better find another way of getting it, and right quick, you ungrateful wretch! After everything your father and I have done to keep you with us and to do the best we can to make you happy, and you're gonna go and choke yourself to death? Well, here! Just let me catch you trying to do that again, Sarah Campbell. Just once! Trust me, it won't be pretty! It won't be pretty, you little spit! Look what you made me do. Look what you made me do!
Yesterday when I got back from CJEP, my sister and my mother were all excited because my sister had made my mother, for my mother's birthday, a huge vase out of papier-mâché. I've never seen anything so ugly in my entire life, but whatever. My sister says, "Wouldn't it be so pretty with some cattails in it?" Oh my, yes! Wouldn't it be so pretty with some cattails? Leave it to me. You know my mother. But those two never go anywhere. So you know what that means. Nathan, go get us some cattails. My mother and my sister are extremely generous with my time. So, off I go, against my will, to find cattails. And I really had to look because we don't have any on our property. So I had to go skulking all the way over to Route 4 like a thief. Get myself all dirty and stung by a wasp, but whatever. On my way back, I passed by the Archambault's barn. And inside, I hear the Archambault sisters laughing like a pair of hyenas. Okay? So I go up to the barn, and I press my eye against this little gap between the boards. What a vision. Samantha is dancing in the hay, except she's only wearing jeans, nothing on top. I can hardly believe it. It doesn't even seem like it's her dancing, just these two big breasts. So I'm standing there with my mouth hanging open like this show is meant for me. The only problem, where I am, I can't see Ariane or her sister. I can only hear her laughing. So I leave the people, I go tearing around the outside of the barn, looking for another opening, some kind of angle that's gonna let me see her. I have to see her. I'm going crazy. Time stops. There is nothing else. Nothing else matters except those breasts. 4 snowy white mounds, all perky and cheerful, calling to me over and over. There's only one thing missing. What is it? The cattails. They're not in my hand. I must have dropped them somewhere. Shit! So I retrace my steps. My heart's beating out of my chest. Aha! I find the cattails lying on the ground in front of my original peephole. I glue my eye to it one more time. Huge disappointment. Nothing. I see nothing. I hear nothing. I search, straining to the point of scratching my eyeball against the side of the board. And then, I hear them laughing again. Except this time, the sound is coming from behind me. So I turn around. There's Ariana at last. She's wearing just her panties, like a more risque version of her sister. We're finally face to face, and it was horrible. I wanted my anonymity back. I felt so much more protected behind my people than I did standing there in front of them. I lost my footing, I slipped, suddenly there I am, lying on the ground, covered in cattails. Of course, my clumsiness made them laugh even harder. Without a word, they led me into the barn. They looked me straight in the eye. They looked right into me. And then they blew me like no one has ever been blown in their life. They left nothing out. A ball for each one. It was a dream. They didn't talk to me. They didn't say a single word. What are the chances of that kind of thing happening in a lifetime? It's impossible. That only happens in dirty magazines. But now it was real. It was real. Outstanding. Total bliss. When I got home, you better believe I thanked my mother for sending me to get those cattails. Do you ever think about things like that? You don't know? No, fuck off, you know. Have you ever seen a guy with nothing on? Would you like to see one? Do you want to touch it? It doesn't matter, you won't feel it anyway. Are you sure? I don't think you'll have many other chances. So I'll ask you again. Do you want to touch it? Well, that's done. Oh, no, Sarah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. I know. I bet you give super good blowjobs too if you could. I so wish things weren't like this for you. I'm so sorry that you don't have many friends, that you're bored, that you're often scared, that you'll never have a boyfriend.
I know it's not the same thing, but I will always be here. I promise.
At 5:33 a.m., she weighed 8 pounds. She was a big, chubby, white baby with dimples all over. My hips could tell you she was a lot of baby. Raymond made her cradle himself. He varnished it beautifully. It was a beautiful changing table in the same wood. I couldn't tell you what kind. I'm no expert when it comes to wood, but he sure did a great job. She loved to sing. As soon as she started talking, she started singing everywhere, all the time, morning, noon, night, while eating, going down the stairs, watching TV, asking a question, going up the stairs, sitting down. And she was a joy to listen to, of course, because she sang really well. When it happened, the business with the shed, the accident, I've always called it that, the business with the shed, so my mind doesn't have to imagine the rest. Raymond and me, we decided not to wallow in bitterness. We chose not to take those 2 little boys who did it to court. We decided to move on, convinced they would never forget. So we were left with the full impact, and for the first year we were pretty winded. We couldn't cope.
I put on my socks, my pants, my shirt, my belt, and I washed my face. And then I put on my cap, the same routine as if I was going to work, but it was the middle of the night. I was very calm. My breathing was very slow. I am calm. I breathe slowly. Each time I go for a walk first. I'd look around the countryside, the fields, the night, the roads. It's like somehow they knew. They knew what was going on in my head, what I was preparing to do. This crazy thing. There was no hiding out there anymore. So I went inside. I went downstairs. I went in. I went down the stairs. But I couldn't do it. I could never do it. Not a day goes by that I'm not ashamed. Ashamed that I didn't have the courage to do it, or ashamed that I thought of doing it in the first place. There's no way out. Time, I guess, will fix things. Put an end to the questions.
My name is Nathan Marlin. I'm Assistant Technical Director of Wetlands and Natural Environments for the City of Longueuil. Today, I received a letter informing me of Sarah's passing. It made my heart ache. It had been a while since I'd had any news. I moved away in my second year of CJEP, but I never did go back to see her. It never happened. We wrote to each other at first, and then only on birthdays, and then I lost interest and stopped sending any news at all. I felt so young and alive and full of ideas, and I didn't want to think about Lardass in her basement. I almost succeeded. It's like with the environment, or with all the wars in the world. You'd like to think you don't think about it, but it's always there, deep down, this kind of guilt or worry. But it doesn't stop us from living our lives. It just makes things a bit uncomfortable.
No, you will never hear that word cross my lips. That was her life, that's all. We can't compare. We did the best we could with what we knew. Towards the end, it's true, it was more difficult. She wasn't herself anymore. She didn't even want to talk to us with the board. That's all we had. We didn't know how to reach her. We didn't know what to do. We were totally helpless. But you see, life took charge in the end. Naturally. Sometimes there are questions we're better off not asking.
I didn't keep my promise to you, Sarah. I couldn't. I want to say goodbye to you. You who had such a strange existence here. It's over now. It's over. So long, my friend.